On a quiet Tuesday morning, a Walmart employee believed he had discovered the perfect way to steal thousands of dollars in merchandise. Using a small trick inside the store's checkout system, he thought he could make 20 brand new tires practically disappear. But what he didn't realize was that the entire plan had already been recorded, and by the time police arrived, they already knew exactly what happened. On April 5th, officers were called to a Walmart store after management reported a suspected internal theft. The suspect was not a customer. It was one of their own employees working in the automotive department. According to store management, the employee had been scheduled for an early shift that morning, arriving around 6 a.m. At first, everything appeared normal, but security footage would later show that shortly after beginning his shift, the employee started moving several tires out of the storage area. Instead of bringing them to the sales floor, he transported them into the store's oil service room. There, the tires were staged and left waiting.
So you said customer came in?
Yeah, the customer came in. He loaded the 20 tires in the truck. Then he made the customer come back inside the store and pay for the tires. And he put all the 20 tires at $20.
A few hours later, around 8:45 in the morning, a pickup truck arrived behind the building. The driver parked out of sight from the front entrance. According to the employee, the driver was supposedly his brother. Security cameras captured the employee pushing open the rear exit doors before both men began loading tires into the truck. One by one, the tires were carried outside. When the loading was finished, 20 tires had been placed into the vehicle. But the plan wasn't finished yet. To make the transaction appear legitimate, the employee escorted the customer back inside the store to complete a purchase.
Those for you to check the price overrides, you need a coach. I'll send you permission to it.
And is he a coach or team leader? Why did they so why did he have the code?
So no, so what he did, I
Instead of scanning the tires normally, the employee used a different method at the register. He accessed the system through an item lookup function. This allowed him to manually enter a price rather than scanning the item's barcode. Normally, changing a product's price requires authorization from a supervisor or manager. But by entering the item manually, he bypassed that process. Then he entered the final price. 20 tires for just $20. The transaction went through, and the truck left the property.
Then he started pushing the tires.
How do you know that it's 20 tires?
We found the tires.
On the video?
On the video, we found the tires. It was 16, and the team said that take a real picture.
But Walmart's internal systems immediately flagged the purchase as suspicious. A team lead reviewing transactions noticed that the price of the tires had been manually altered. Using the store's smart system, management pulled up the receipt and saw the override. They then checked the security footage. On camera, they counted the tires being loaded into the truck. Next, they conducted a physical inventory check. The result confirmed their suspicion. 20 tires were missing. At that point, store management contacted police.
Tonight, hear your side of the story.
What's up, bud?
What's up?
How you guys doing, all right?
Good, how are you?
So I can't, even if I make a statement, I can't defend my case?
When officers arrived, the employee was brought into an office to explain what happened. At first, he appeared calm, but when management confronted him with the evidence, his explanation quickly changed. He claimed that a random customer wearing a hoodie had approached him asking for discounted tires. However, officers had already reviewed the surveillance footage, and they knew that story didn't match what actually happened.
Fine, regardless.
So they could overturn it, they could not. But I'm just saying what our facts of our investigation are. Right? We have everything detailed lined up, and we just bring associates in to figure out what caused this to happen.
Okay.
Right? And that's why we came to talk to you, to figure out what caused this to happen.
Okay.
Okay?
So even no matter what I just told you, I was going to get fired regardless while with me in here?
Correct. So everything else is going to be between April and these two gentlemen here, okay?
Alright, that's fine.
I appreciate you coming to talk to me, though.
Yeah, it's just, I wish I had just time to even remember just anything or to the source.
How you doing, man? All right, all right, all right. Mr. Flores.
Yeah.
Hey, you can stay seated, man. I'm Officer Daly with the police department.
Yeah.
Of course, you know why we're here. It's
Yeah.
no secret, all right? But before I get into anything, I'm going to read your rights, all right?
Okay.
Rights against self-discrimination.
Before asking further questions, officers read the employee his Miranda rights. He was informed that he had the right to remain silent and that anything he said could be used against him. The officer then explained something very clearly. He told the employee that he wouldn't ask questions unless he already knew the answers. At this point, investigators had already gathered multiple pieces of evidence: security footage, inventory records, the altered receipt, and even the credit card used during the transaction. That card was connected directly back to the employee.
Okay,
All right.
I thought you know me from
Yeah,
previous.
no. But if I'm asking, I'm talking to you, it's because I have knowledge of what's going on. So if you're lying for me from the jump, I'll already know, and it just makes it worse. All right?
Okay.
And we want this to be smooth as possible.
All right.
All right? No, go
All right,
ahead.
so I'm going to go through this line by line, and after every line, you just advise to me that you understand these rights. Okay. Okay. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. Do you understand? Get it?
Oh yeah.
I understand?
I understand.
Do you know why we're here?
Yeah, I'm assuming for this case, the following up.
Which is what?
The tires.
Okay, so tell me about that.
Like I said, the hoodie guy come up to me. I was going to toss
You
him.
haven't told me anything yet, so yeah. So I need to hear from you what
So the
transpired.
hoodie guy comes up to me, says, "Hey, you happen to have something or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have some, but I have other work to do. But just give me a second, and I can pursue that." Just kind of go from there, make a transaction for him. Comes up, load up his tires, and then yeah.
When confronted with these details, the employee began to hesitate. His explanation about the random hoodie guy quickly fell apart. The officer made it clear that the story didn't match the evidence. Realizing the situation had turned against him, the employee suddenly stopped talking. Instead, he made a different decision. He told officers that he no longer wished to make any statements.
I think I don't want to make any statements.
Okay, all right. Well, stand up, put your hand behind your back. You're going to be placed under arrest.
With the investigation complete and evidence confirmed, officers moved to place the employee under arrest. He was instructed to stand up and put his hands behind his back. Handcuffs were secured while officers searched him for weapons. During the arrest, the employee told officers he had driven to work in a 2023 Ford Mustang. The vehicle remained parked outside the store. His keys were later collected as part of the investigation. The employee was immediately terminated by Walmart following the internal investigation. He was then transported by police and formally charged with larceny and fraud. What started as a simple plan to quietly remove merchandise from the store ended with an arrest captured entirely on body
Their
camera.
work glasses?
Yeah, the work glasses.
Okay. I'm gonna. Hey guys, there's or not? There's work glasses. That's for you guys. All right. You got them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this way.
Hey, just secure them in your vehicle. I'm gonna just talk to them real quick. All right. So what did he divulge to you guys?
So he admit price overriding the tires,
Okay.
but he's stating that he don't think that he did anything wrong.
In the end, what seemed like a simple shortcut turned into a criminal investigation. For just a few minutes of dishonest decisions, the employee didn't just lose his job. He left the store in handcuffs. Situations like this are a reminder that modern retail systems track nearly everything, from inventory changes to price overrides and payment records. And when those systems are combined with surveillance cameras, it becomes extremely difficult for schemes like this to be realized. What may feel like a small trick in the moment will quickly become evidence in the case. And in this situation, a plan that was meant to save a few $1,000s ended with charges of fraud and larceny.